Hello and welcome to the audio video cast for Rob Noakes of Sounddogs.com. This is part 1 of the Palmdale car shoot, the Silver Dodge Charger, by Rob Noakes. Out in the remote desert of Palmdale is my favorite location for recording cars. I've been using the location since 1995. It is at the end of a dead-end road with little traffic on Sunday nights. Unfortunately, due to the return of the Viper and Charger and the pending rain coming, we had to move our recording up to Wednesday night. My preference is to record Saturday or Sunday night, as there is very little activity. However, this Wednesday night we got about 45 minutes of interruptions from a local factory. Typically, this does not happen on the weekends. Arriving to the location at 10 p.m., I had hoped we could record the Viper before the factory let out at 11:30 p.m. and, during that time, set up the Charger. Unfortunately, the Viper was delayed by local Palmdale police, and we hit that 45-minute window of sparse factory traffic. Also, a pack of coyotes in the distance was in the neighborhood, something that I'd never heard at that location. All in all, the location is extraordinarily quiet, especially in comparison to the Palmdale Speedway, where we previously tried to record these sports cars. Note, recording in quiet locations is imperative for quality recordings and minimizing mastering time, where the librarian has to remove as much extraneous noise as possible. The Charger was backed up on the blocks and wired. At the Palmdale Speedway, we heard good low-end presence between the tailpipes below the back, so I mounted one Sennheiser E835S with wind protection between the pipes and a Sanken CUB-01 boundary microphone without wind protection close to the passenger side tailpipe. If the microphone is exposed to wind, it is important to use a wind jammer. When possible, I always mount microphones tucked up and out of the wind's path without a wind jammer. I should mention that the Sennheiser E835 can handle a lot of SPL, has a nice low end, quite bright, and sounds far superior to a PZM. Ditto for the Sanken CUB-10, which in addition is extraordinarily small and easy to mount in confined locations. For this shoot, I purchased two more Sanken CUB-01s, as my original one was snapped and run over at Palmdale Speedway. Hopefully will work after repair. On the movie Guess Who, I used a fishing pole to try and get a more natural engine sound from the go-karts. Close-up microphone sounded too much like a lawnmower. So for these cars I purchased a new 25-pound fishing pole and mounted a Sennheiser E835S with wind jammer on the end of the pole. We tied the pole down with bungee cords to the rear wings of the car, and the microphone ended up about 5 feet away from the muffler. The reason for this is that low-end frequencies expand as they resonate away from their source. The goal is to capture the low end of the muffler slightly away from the muffler, as opposed to close to it. Due to the fact that the microphone is not hidden from the wind, it is important to try and place the mic in the draft position behind the car, the spot where there is little wind, because the body of the car is shielding the spot immediately behind the car. This is known in racing as the drafting position. The other benefit of a fishing pole is that it absorbs a lot of vibrations, so that the actual microphone is not induced with rattles or moves. On the front manifold, a Sennheiser E835 wrapped in a wind jammer was bungeed to the front of the car. This microphone is placed to pick up the sound of the air and intake. Another Sanken CUB-01 without wind protection was dropped slightly behind the manifold, protected from wind, to capture the engine intake from an even closer perspective. The third and final engine microphone, a Sennheiser E835S, was placed next to the Hemi engine. The engine microphones are generally much easier to apply. However, it is very important to steer clear of surfaces that can get very hot, so hot that they can cause a fire or severely damage a microphone or wind jammer. Cable ties are used to run all the cables along the same path to the Diva 5, which is placed on the front passenger side of the car. Within the interior of the car is a Neumann 190i, which captures the inside sound of the car. It is important to remove all jangling and banging items from the car so that interior POV recording is usable in all situations. Also, make sure the windows are closed. The Diva 5 sits on the front passenger seat and is strapped in with the seat belt. The driver should remain silent and perform only driving-related moves. The end result from this onboard setup is a muffler recording, tire perspectives, engine noises, intake sweeteners, and interior coverage. Here's some great live footage shooting a Dodge Charger by Rob Noakes of Sounddogs.com.